You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. My name's Dave, and this is a Fistful of Podcasts from Fistful of Podcasts. Nope, just kidding. God damn it, I knew it was going to happen eventually.
It happened. It happened again.
Is this the second time?
I don't know. I just like saying again.
I feel like this is the first time. So we're not fistfulofpodcasts.com. We're FFOPradio.com. The other one is a Chinese sex site. The reason that
the Chinese are taking everything.
Yeah, the reason that they immediately usurped me. But the reason I'm already there because I showed that site to my cousin. I'm like, hey, check it out. Remember that show I had? This is the site it is now.
If we say that forbidden word, can we get that site taken down if we associate too much with it?
Forbidden word?
The one Andy was talking about before we started recording.
Taiwan.
Oh,
that one.
Maybe. No,
Free Tibet.
Maybe.
I wasn't sure how much of our constituents were Chinese.
I don't know. I bet if in the comment section Free Tibet appeared more than once, they'd probably get their asses shut down. We could reclaim it. But listen, don't do that. Don't do that because then there will be literal blood on my hands because the Chinese government will kill those assholes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So don't do that. Guys, where am I in the interview? Holy shit.
You were about to, you mean introduction? You were about to introduce us.
Interview
Us,
shit.
please.
Okay, so Andy, what's up with that? That's my interview style.
Hey, how do you know if a ghost is into you?
It gives you a booner.
Oh no, he guessed my joke.
Is that it?
I was gonna say a boo.
He shows you his boo.
Yes, because the boo doesn't go into erection. You can think on that, but I'm pretty sure you won't find a way. Of course,
My scarection.
Ectorection 1.
That was an unpopular Ghostbusters.
Yeah, guys. Also,
always at the ready.
Let's continue with the interview. Adam J. Hubbard, Esquire. What's up with that?
What's up with all the sexy ghosts?
All right,
where are they all at?
That's the thing. Thank God. Pretend this is live every time. God damn.
I can't sneeze.
No, have some decorum for Christ's sake.
Okay, I'll keep my bodily functions to a minimum.
Either blow them out your butt or hit the sneeze button on your mixer.
David would rather you farted on air.
Yeah, and then you get the comment on how it sounds like jangly silverware in a drawer being pulled behind a truck.
It does. Every time you fart is its own distinct sound, and they're all very strange.
Every fart is a snowflake.
Yeah, one time I got chills because it sounded like Freddy Krueger running his steel claws down a steel pipe in a boiler room. I was like, what?
Boiler room's your ass, bitch.
Yeah. I started jumping rope and singing the nursery rhyme. So, guys, welcome to the show, everybody. This is already off the rails. Holy shit. So, just a few things to talk about. One thing that I think maybe we will only be able to commiserate on. Everybody younger will be like, what? I bet Shroom will be like, what the fuck are they talking about? In junior high and high school, how were you guys at writing notes? Were you prolific writers?
I only ever wrote one, and I ended up with a girlfriend for 3 months.
That's it? You didn't write notes?
Yeah.
Adam.
That's quite a track record.
That is insane. Adam, come on. You're a writer. You must have written notes.
No, I can't say I wrote that many notes.
Oh my God.
I did get a lot of death threats in my locker in Adam's handwriting.
Yeah, there's a lot of Adam's blood type around.
All my notes had a pen name.
Yeah. Red the Ripper.
It's the Zodiac Killer.
Zodiac Killer. So you guys, okay, so maybe this will be a new experience for you to enjoy. But in junior high and high school, I wrote so many goddamn notes to girls. Oh my God, I can't believe you guys never wrote notes.
I wrote the one.
He has a 100% success rate with notes.
Actually, just kidding. I'm going to take that back because you guys wrote notes like you text present day. And I write notes like I text present day.
See, notes were daunting because you needed to learn the folding craft
Right.
to really get on board with it.
So here's the thing. I went through the whole evolution. Like if you were to do like that fish to human chart on a wall of this particular thing, it would just be like folded a bunch in half until you can't anymore, and then you pass it, and then you learn the football, and then you learn the heart, and then you learn the box, and then you learn the star, and then you learn that shit, and you become proficient, and then you're like, this is too much work. So eventually you burn out.
I'm an adult with a job now.
Yeah, I'm an adult. I've got to do something. So eventually you just say, hey, I'm going to get a notebook. I'll call it history. It'll just be notes. You pass it to the person in the hallway in between classes.
That's kind of genius.
And it right under the radar, because it was always like you were taking notes. It wasn't like, because if you were going to write a note, 9 times out of 10, those things are getting folded. And so you needed them to be loosey.
Yeah.
So, but if you see something, a teacher rather sees something that's spiral bound, they're not ripping that bitch out. Those are notes. Yeah, yeah.
That's official.
Well, and that's exactly it. But back in the day, we didn't have the spiral-bound notebooks that also had the perforations that
Right.
you could just tear the stuff out.
Yeah.
No, it was just full.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just so you know, there's a peek behind the curtain. At one point, I was like saving all my notes for my entire career as a Playboy through junior high and high school. And so I was like, okay, it's time to get rid of these bad boys. I think there were 3 shoeboxes and 4 garbage bags.
Wow.
All folded. This is not unfolded material. So I pulled them all out and unfolded them, and it filled the room up to my waist.
Oh, no.
The garbage bags just never stopped emptying.
If I become famous, like, that was my Lovecraft letters. That was my collection of my life. Like, if you want to know what I was like from age 12 to age 17, it was right there on the paper, and I burned it all.
There's a lot of inappropriate names for cats in here.
Oh, for sure. Like, it would be to an adult, it would be like the cringiest YA novel ever, but I'm sure to someone growing up around that age, they'd be like, I connect. Because even back then, I had the writing bug, I gotta tell you. Moral of the story is, why isn't my handwriting better? I wrote over 1 million words from age 12 to age 17 on paper with my goddamn hand. I've gone through gallons of ink and miles of lead, and I still write as if my hand has just been crushed by a truck tire.
That's a good question.
Me too.
What
You had
happened?
a lot of practice.
Yeah, I've been practicing. So every time I write, I try and slow down. I try and do it right, but it always looks worse and worse.
Huh.
See, I
got a curse.
I just had to take a bunch of notes for like a kid observation, like 11 pages of notes, and I was looking at them again, like, uh-oh. I can read a lot of this, but
Yeah, I am so desperate about it now that I take notes exclusively on a screen. Like back in the day, because here's the thing. Nowadays, when you're taking notes, you're in a scramble because there's very little time. When you're in high school or junior high, you're stretching out. You're gold bricking. It's math class, but you don't give a fuck. He's saying, geometry all up and down and up and whatever. But you're, crafting a missive that's going off to the person you hope to get as intimate as you can with.
well, yeah, second base.
Hell yeah, second base. So
Some nice over-the-clothes petting.
listen, let's.
Second base isn't a handshake?
I have no idea what second base is, actually.
Second base. Okay, so first base is kissing.
Second base, a dick in your face. That's what they said.
It's got a rhyme.
Is second base under the clothes?
Look up the base wiki.
Here's my question. I think the tipping point is the finger bang. When we get to the finger bang, if we're going to say that's second base,
Okay, boobs, over clothing, under clothing, or under bra.
Okay.
Is second base.
under clothing, over clothing, under bra, over the bridge. What was all that shit?
That was second base.
Say it again is what I'm saying. I've forgotten it all.
Oh.
So much.
Feeling abreast, over clothing, under clothing, or under bra.
So literally anything?
Sounds like second base is just boobs.
Yeah, but whether you have 2 layers or 0 layers between you and the boob, that is second base.
Yeah, you're within the vicinity.
Come on, man. You got to be brave. Like, everybody can touch a tit on the outside. It takes a man to go up there.
He's stealing second. Arrest
Yeah,
him.
that's real.
Did he be arrested for that?
Yeah, that's called molesting, Andy.
What if he said it was okay?
Well, then you're not stealing it, are you?
This isn't some fly-by-night second base shop. This is someone who's already allowed you, let's say, to get to first. You're not stealing second from home.
Yeah, they're walking you.
So yeah, okay. So third base.
Walk to second base.
So third base must be everything but the dong.
What's bases loaded? Is that a thing?
Can you do them
That's
all
when
at
you
once?
have one guy making out with her, one guy feeling her boobs, one guy fingering her, and you're inside of her.
Well, no, you can do all of that. Like, if
I suppose you could, actually.
I'm not Goro, David.
it just has to be committed, Andy, or even have a little just self-control. Like, it's not. I can imagine a scenario in which I can hit all the bases at once, expending relatively little energy.
What am I supposed to do? I'm over here feeling up a lady and also doing the finger bang and kissing, and all of a sudden Johnny Cage breaks into my lair. I gotta beat him up.
It's the same lady. Why I don't know why we keep incorporating multiple men and multiple ladies. Like, I'm not loading the bases with 6-8 people.
That's just how Andy gets down.
Maybe that's it.
I'm playing cricket.
Maybe this is a chilling peek into Andy's backstory. He's like, the more
His
men's
origin
better.
story.
So
I play soccer. You're either fiddling around or it's a goal.
Offsides.
doesn't anybody maybe
Offsides is anal.
what the
And no slide tackling.
no slide
That's
tackling.
illegal.
What about high sticking? Are we okay with that?
High sticking. Is this hockey?
It's anything. Every time you get her stick above the waist is high sticking.
Is that illegal?
Yeah,
It is. You go to the penalty box.
Casey Jones gives 2 minutes full high stick. Jesus Christ. Am I the only Ninja Turtle enthusiast in the room?
And then they send you to the penalty box and another guy gets to take over for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's basically a 2-minute break. Oh my gosh. Where were we, guys? So yeah, anyway, got it. Notes. I thought that was funny because Krista brought it up. I think it was because I was reaming her about all the text she keeps. And
Oh, and she was like, and you with your waist-high notepads.
yeah, well she predated that, so it was full discretion. I had to disclose it.
David sulking around the house with big black bags like he's the Krampus.
Yeah, I just had one over each shoulder, and I was just moping around.
Dragging chains.
That's the thing, man. It was so much more dangerous to get caught if you were gonna do something shady as a kid, because you always wrote it down. You always wrote everything down. At least for me and my group of people, we always were passing notes. Everybody, everywhere. It was always a massive underground railroad of note passing.
But I think it's probably a dying art, if I had to guess, with like phones and text messages.
Oh, for
and
sure.
stuff.
No, it's not a dying art. It's been reborn. Like
It evolved. Yeah.
Yes, it like when text message came out and like you had to pay for each one, it was like, aha, whoa, that's like the rich man's note. And now it's the poor man's everything. So it sort of burned away and became this bird, because it's stuff that takes up zero space physically, and I feel zero attachment to it. I delete everything almost as soon as I get it.
See, David says like it's. But back when texting was limited, I get people in the Target that are buying like those phone cards, and if you look on the back of the phone card, it's like you can either talk for 400 minutes or each text takes a minute.
Oh my god! Yeah, listen, the ultra poor and the ultra sketchy notwithstanding, most people nowadays are rocking unlimited everything. But that's the thing, because that's the experience I had. Is like everybody was passing notes, and I really enjoyed getting into the folding part of it. I liked making the Chinese stars. I want to call them Chinese stars, but I know they're not called Chinese stars. Shuriken. Making the little paper shuriken, the paper football that you would just sort of toss as you were going through, and feeling like a fucking spy almost. You would, if it was like really tight, where you were basically on opposite sides of the school, and you would have to basically do like a flyby, like Starfighters-esque midair fuel, where you have to be like,
have some sort of dead drop in the hallways.
yeah, just like a like strangers in the night, just whoosh, and you just sort of do the thing, man. It was so
Fold this microfiche like a heart.
Yeah, that's half the reason to do it, man. It's so fun. Then you get lazy, and then the notebook comes in, and it's just like, here you go. I wrote a page and a half while I should have been learning math. Or history or whatever.
See, my teachers would have known like something was wrong immediately, because I did not take notes.
You have to sort of build to it. You just sort of have to introduce the notebook and just sort of scribble in it here or there, and then just sort of get them hooked, and they're like, oh, Andy, he's pulling his shit together. Little does she know, you're actually getting worse.
Yeah, like before you actually start writing the notes, you have to like drop subtle hints in class.
I like notes.
While she's teaching, say like, these notes are hurting my hand. All these notes.
Ow!
Writer's cramp.
How do you spell Algernon?
I'm having notocardia. So many notes. Yeah, you definitely
You guys
gotta
digging these notes?
You definitely gotta put some groundwork into the notes. Yeah, I don't know.
Anybody else really digging class? Like I have annotated everything here.
No, yeah, like something like that.
I write stage direction for the teacher.
I love it. I love every bit of it. So what's happening with you dudes? I sort of want to touch base. A lot of stuff has been going on, man, like with work and the show and stuff over here, but that's all boring. What's happening over there?
I would like to thank both of my managers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Mr. Manager.
My manager, David.
Manager. What? Oh,
And,
right.
And my manager, Adam.
Wink.
So, full disclosure, like I got my substitute teaching license and I had to do
Cool.
an application. Once you have the license, you have to apply, which seemed dumb, but
Yeah. That always seems weird to me. Like being a lawyer, like if you like pass lawyer school, why not just like, hey, you're a lawyer? But then there's another test.
You did it.
so I get most of the way through it and it's like, okay, now we need four people that are references that aren't friends or family. I'm like, well, sure. Text David like, hey Dave, you got to pretend to be a manager. What's your? I sent you an email. I was like, okay. Send one to Adam and his roommate and my mother-in-law.
Listen,
Well, the mother-in-law was the only legitimate one.
Larson was my manager.
Oh, that's true. Larson was
David
too.
manages the podcast.
technically,
Okay, so I'm the
am
only
a manager.
falsehood here.
Yeah, you're the only lie. But hey, I love stepping into like a character role. I very seldom get to be
What sort of accent and backstory did you adopt for this?
Well, okay, so in my head, I was a pretty easygoing manager. Like Andy was pretty good, but he slacked sometimes. But since it's a slow clinic and we're all just sort of family, I let it slide most of the time. you know, I'd like to think I was a good manager. Is what I'm getting at. I think
you were wonderful.
He was a solid employee, and I said that.
I'm pretty sure that they just needed those things to come back, didn't look at them.
Sure.
They were like, after those are done, we need you to email us. They emailed me and were like, hey, come do all this paperwork for us. You're going to be a sub now. So
Yeah,
I went
bet
in,
they're
did all the
desperate.
paperwork, got my fingerprints done again. Like, they had to run a background check for the sub license, and now they're like, we need another one, just in case the FBI missed it the first time.
What if you committed a crime in the week between then and now?
That's a pretty big loophole.
But because of
Oh,
all
yeah.
that, on Saturday, I got to get on my Target app and say, resign.
Deuces.
You can resign from the app?
You can resign from the app. And I put in
Oh
2
my
weeks, and I
God.
went in and I started telling everybody, it's like, hey, I put in my 2 weeks, so don't expect me to put in any work, but I will be here until the 10th. And also, if you schedule me on the 10th, I'm not going to be here.
Here's what I'm so envious of the stories for. You get to resign from an app. Every time I had to resign as a kid, 16 and up, I always had this anxiety. I hated having to resign a place
Yeah, me too.
because I'm like, I gotta go somewhere else, and they're always like, oh man, and I'm like, I know, and I hated that awkward moment. If I could have done it from an app, oh my god, who knows where I would be today.
See, I was going to just walk in and do it, and then I looked up, like, okay, who do I actually talk to resign at Target? And all these places were like, you don't have to.
So yeah, I that's actually pretty cool. I'm so
And
jealous.
All
I
of
can't tell you.
yesterday, like, I came to work and I was like, so I resigned, and
Oh, we know. We heard.
don't
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
an
well,
email.
nobody had heard because it sends somebody an email that's not working right now or
Yeah.
something.
Nobody's checking.
Uh,
And I was like, so find me something to do for 2 hours because I don't want to do self-checkout.
It's quite a power play.
What are they going to do? Fire me?
that's the thing. Now is the time to like I wouldn't overdo it, but now's the time to flex a little bit.
Give me one of those tiny
I did,
pizzas.
David. I had a lady.
Oh.
So I finally got on self-checkout. It was like 8 o'clock. Walmarts start closing around here at 8, so we get all the crazy people.
Sure, yeah.
They had a cart full of expensive shit, like expensive toys and electronics and stuff, and like razors and like mixed in with some essentials.
Oh.
They spend 20 minutes scanning it all at self-checkout, which is pretty sus. Then the lady reaches into her purse and pulls out a gallon sack of coupons
Okay.
and starts scanning them without looking at them
Just to see like
So-
what sticks.
to see what sticks. And I walked up to her, I said, hey lady, it's a limit of 14 per guest.
What? So what happened?
Well, she goes, no, it's not. And I was like, yeah, it really is.
Pretty
She goes,
sure
well,
it
show
is.
me. She goes, show me the policy. I was like, it's it's probably online. She goes, well, show it to me. And I looked at her. I said, I don't carry online with me.
Yeah. What a bitch. Oh, my God, Andy.
And eventually it comes down to, I told him 14. They start putting stuff back in their cart, and she's complaining and bitching. And I turned to the guy. I was like, I'm going on break. You deal.
Oh,
See ya.
what?
And when I came back, apparently they only ended up buying 3 things
No shit.
that they had coupons for.
Why not look at the coupons first and
Yeah,
then
save yourself some time.
why
But it
fill
was
the
a whole
cart?
sack, and she was just doing them randomly.
What a
And they were like, they tried to get him to allow them to use more coupons. He goes, nope, my dude said 14.
my dude. What you got?
And they were like, well, that guy's an asshole. And I was like, yeah, probably.
Is he a surfer? He's like, my dude says nah. He's gonna harsh your gnar there,
And,
bro.
and today I was supposed to be telling people, like, you're supposed to wear a mask. Like, that was my job today. I got one of the security guys to stand next to me and do it.
Yeah, like just get sick or get fucked. I don't care. But that's the thing. We went to Target today because I finally broke out. We had to go pick up stuff that I didn't want to get on Amazon. And it was totally fine. Everyone's wearing a mask. Everyone was a polite distance away. I don't get why Reno Target is the bizarro version of Arizona Target, seeing as how Arizona is a problem, to say the least.
David, my favorite guy today, because I was just people watching at this point.
Uh-huh.
Like, I was cleaning the carts as they came in, so people would be like, oh no, you're out of wipes. Like, they're already wiped, bitch. Just
Yeah.
This guy walks in. He's about 6'3", long yellow beard,
Nice.
Trump hat.
Oh, yeah.
He has a shirt on that
My
says,
hero.
hey, Democrats, your lunch is right here, arrow pointing down.
Wow.
I turned to the security guy and said, you could try.
Deny this man access. Oh, so what happened?
The security guy walked up and said, hey, you need a mask? And the guy goes, no, but I guess I have to wear one. And he goes, yeah, you really do.
Yeah,
and he pulls out the mask that he had on him,
Yeah.
puts it on and goes, I can't wait until they prove all this shit false.
Shut the fuck up. I hope people like that get sick. Like, why is it that these people are allowed? I get why they're allowed to do it, obviously. But I mean, what in their mind allows them to be like, this is bullshit, don't be sheeple, when the mere act of it is simply like, protect yourself, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not even like hurting anything.
no,
And
like, protect
there are
yourself.
other diseases that you could also prevent this way.
Yeah, they're saying that, and even like the owners of where I work, they're saying like, well, the flu season is going to be almost nothing this year because everybody's wearing masks, so there's going to be no flu.
That sounds great.
Nice. That's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. Like, it works because guess why doctors wear it? They're smarter than you. They wear masks. Why do you think that a blonde mullet like puts you above a doctor?
Well, because they're David. To further illustrate my thing, like the security guy had to leave right after that because there was a guy in electronics yelling at the batteries.
Yelling at the batteries.
He was yelling at the batteries, and when he got back, I was like, "What was he yelling about?" I was like, "Well, he was telling the batteries that if they talk like that at him again, he would beat their ass."
Okay.
Oh boy, yeah.
Those batteries need some goddamn respect.
But I was watching the guy, like the guy that had just put on his mask, walk around.
The big yellow beard guy?
Yeah, yellow
He
beard.
pulled it down. Didn't
Yellow
he?
beard.
Anytime he wanted to talk to somebody, instead of doing the thing that all of the idiots do where they pull down their mask to talk at him, he would put his hand under his beard and lift up his beard. Not his mask, just his beard.
What the fuck?
With the back of his hand, he'd go, whoop.
Well,
Does
it's
his beard-
still a semi-filter. I'll take it. If he wants to spit into his beard, sure.
Like,
Wait,
I
so
He had the mask on,
the mask was still on.
and
Yeah.
he would lift up the bottom of his beard to talk to people.
Like, okay.
It's stupid. Like, he's stupid, but there's nothing
Was
you
he
can do
speaking
about
through a
that.
tracheotomy or something?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
threw a drink at me. No, he's just lifting up his beard to push the mask out of the way so we can talk through the beard at him.
But don't you run a risk of wearing a shirt that says, like, hey, Democrats, your lunch is down here, or somebody being like, that's an awful small meal?
Right, you do. You do.
Yeah, you're just kind of setting yourself up.
That's the thing. Like, when you're an idiot, you've got the balls to do whatever you want because you don't see, like, to him, that's a bulletproof plan. And so, ta-da, it makes the grade that passes by all the filters, and he buys that shirt. and some weirdo makes $20 somewhere on a sketchy website.
But yeah.
And it sucks how like polarizing all of this stuff has become, but it's also kind of nice that all those people are wearing such like blatant advertisements, so we can kind of see them coming from a mile off.
I do like that. So you can give them a wide berth. It would be as if like lions started wearing like the propeller hats.
Well,
So all the gazelle would be like, okay, let's get out of here.
As a retail person for the next, I have one more shift.
Woo!
I know exactly if you're a retail person right now, you know that if you see someone that is short, squat, blonde hair and wearing a mask that says Trump 2020 or a hat that says Trump 2020, there's going to be a problem.
Oh, for sure. But you know that. They told you. Now that everybody is forced to become the poison dart frogs of the upper echelon of evolution.
I see a lot of people with those. You know how Facebook will sometimes show you those advertisements like, I'm David, I work at Target, I shoot guns, and nobody messes with God. There's a shit ton of people who wear those. It's like, I'm a badass pharmacy tech who doesn't mess with the devil.
Listen, all the politics aside, I think that half of that shit is just done because somebody thought it was funny and it got past somebody's filter. There is a commercial here for two political opponents, and it's a dude riding a motorcycle. I'm not going to name drop anybody. I'm just going to tell you what's going on. It's like, candidate X does this. He's a real bitch. He did this. He took all this money and he's totally corrupt. What a piece of shit. Basically, he's riding a motorcycle telling you what a piece of shit this politician is. Gets all the way to the end of this road, goes to a stop sign. He's like, politician X, he's so corrupt, he belongs in Washington. So are you saying that the current government is corrupt and that this guy, since he is corrupt, belongs with them? What are you sending the message here?
It's a much deeper critique than I was expecting.
But because it's like, hey man, it's like, I hate this guy. He did this and he ripped off veterans and he did this and he did that. This guy, this is exactly where he belongs. Washington.
That's why I'm voting for him.
Why would you, like, you're basically, like, because it's, full disclosure, it's a Republican ad, and Republicans are in power. So if you're saying this guy sucks so much, he deserves rather to be among your ilk, then congratulations, message received. I got it.
Woohoo!
But I don't think they were probably shooting for that.
But I usually hate going to work, and since I put in my resignation, I was like, you know what? Well, I can't be bothered with any of this anymore.
It sort of feels like a vacation, right?
A vacation I'm getting paid for.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know that you finally checked out. They can do whatever they want because it will literally affect nothing. And you sort of get let off the leash a little bit. Enough to let you know that you might go wild, but you probably won't. Some people do.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to be able to walk into the Target again.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
people eye you out of the corner of their looks and wonder just how long your Mad Dog chain is.
Yeah.
If you can reach them with all the leverage that you have.
Mm-hmm. Will he end up just snapping at me mere inches away with slobber flying into my nose and throat? Or is he going to rip my throat out?
Or am I going to die?
Am I going to die here?
Like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. Throats out.
Yep.
Just do a throat ripping sprint through the Target. Oh my god. Oh, so not to be too inside baseball, but like the place I work is shrinking a little bit, and so one of our offices is going away, and so now it's hilarious to see how people are changing behavior wise, because it went from a lot of complaining to, I love it here. God damn it. Is this a great place? Oh, Dave, is that a new shirt? I love that shirt. Flamingos on a shirt. I love flamingos on a shirt. I've seen you wear the lobster one. Oh yeah. I love that one too. Meanwhile, I wouldn't stop in the road if this bitch jumped in front of me. But
I just like we're doing some layoffs. Oh, I love it here.
Yeah. It's amazing how number one, the attitude change, and number two, her confusion to thinking I have any power.
I was going to ask, do you even have any say over who gets laid off or something?
Negative. But since I have my own office, I'm sure she's confused and just sucking up to anybody.
That's fair. If you don't know who to suck up to, you might as well just suck up to everyone.
Yeah, I'm sure she just like cranked it up to 11 and is just attaching to whoever she deems like more important than herself.
Constantly paranoid she's in an undercover boss situation.
Yeah.
That David might whip off his mask. Oh no, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
She's a remora jumping from species to species, being like, is this it? Is this it? Is this it? But
is this the predator that will protect me?
I don't sense any scraps from you, David.
Oh, man. So here's another thing that you never thought I would have to complain about, but now I have to. So my kid, he has got some squishy like sponge letters that also are magnetic. They can stick to the fridge and the washer and everything.
Okay.
And stepping on them is always... you think it's just a squishy. It's not a Lego. What's the big deal? They're the right texture, and typically they're warm because it's warm here, and or my son just got done throwing them to the floor. It feels either, you're stepping in dog shit, number one. There's a dead mouse on the floor, number two. Or if it's flipped over and you hit the magnet side, it's sort of the exoskeleton feel, and there's a giant bug that you are now stepping on and smashing the innards of across the kitchen floor.
Did you normally have problems with this beforehand, and you solved them and now they're back?
No. But now I'm beholden to my body's fight or flight response before logic can kick in. So my foot collapses across a magnet. I go because I want to like disgustingly throw up because it might be one of those giant Palo Verde beetles that I'm crunching into.
It's another one of our many desert scorpions.
Yeah.
Okay, David, are you the kind who does the hop skip, or are you the kind that kind of crumples?
I do the hidden third thing. So if I'm walking backwards, I'll just roll back on the ball of my foot. Like if I squish it with my heel, I just go whoop and roll back and off.
Okay, because I'm the kind that looks like I'm stepping on something, best not to hurt it, and
you gotta like jump away from it.
Yeah, I always just go back exactly how I was because I fear that jumping, because you usually brace yourself when you jump, so that could cause more damage.
That's smart.
I always just sort of stop and roll back the exact way I came, so I don't do more by being like jumping in the air and smashing it completely flat.
Surprise.
Yeah, I throw the grenade and I jump over the nearest chest-high wall.
Which I have many of in my home.
Tons. That's why there's so many holes in the wall now.
My home is sponsored by Gears of War.
Yeah. So that's a thing that I never thought I would experience, but it's hit me so viscerally, as I said. Like, it does feel like the squishy ones feel like you're stepping on the small body of a mouse, and I'm just waiting for the bones to start going.
Oh, God. What sort of hellscape
so
do you live in?
So, yeah,
Arizona.
it's always this disgusting, like, scare fest. It's jump scares, so it's not like horrible, but it's still like a horrifying experience walking around my kitchen.
Yeah.
Would it be better or worse if they were like, you said they were spongy, if they were like full of water?
Oh, then they would pop?
Well, then they'd like ooze out and stuff.
Yeah, no. I think where they are now is like probably the best iteration of what they can be, like foot feel wise.
Foot feel.
So you don't want them harder then?
No. They have, for all things considered, they have acceptable foot feel.
Fantastic foot feel.
Fantastic foot feel.
I wouldn't say fantastic because it does make me think I'm squashing a giant prehistoric insect 50% of the time.
Well, let's delve into this then. What would be good foot feel? What's something you could step on that you would be pleased to walk away from?
I think it has to, if it's going to be pleasant, the first step is it has to be at least as big as your foot. It can't be like half on, half off. It can't be small.
That's true.
It's got to be like a sturdy surface. Like my kids got like little sponge like play mats.
Okay.
And so those are like, I don't know, 8x8 or 10x10. So if you hit one of those in the center, it's like, fine. You hit one off, and so like, you hit the sharp edge, so it's like a pizza slice out of the middle of your foot that's also hitting like the tile. It's like, bleh. Base ground zero is it has to cover the whole foot. Yes. If it's smaller, then you're like, ugh. If it's geometric, then it's easier to divorce from like a stepping on a small animal.
Okay.
But since the letters of the alphabet and numbers are all different, it's very easy to confuse one.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm just saying, if someone comes in and says, hey, you want to start throwing some spongy letters all over your floor? I heard that people love it. Don't.
Do not do that.
If somehow it becomes en vogue and people are buying big bags or 55-gallon drums of these magnetic foam letters off of Amazon to use, like essentially turning their house into a ball pit, I would say no. But here's the thing also, if I'm saying ball pit now, we say at least 3 feet deep, I might be sold again.
I'm kind of getting on board.
So you're gonna dig a ball pit then?
Yeah, no, not even. Just turn your house into one. Because stepping on a single mouse body is like, yeah, but wading across a sea of them might be okay.
And we're going to build a child trap, Mandy. We're going to hide a rug over the ball pit that you've dug in the floor.
I've got the kid.
Yeah, this will be like classic movies era quicksand.
Well, you know, and then it dumps him outside with like Fester from the original Addams Family.
Yeah, maybe think like the house from Nothing But Trouble, but less murderous.
Yeah, less.
So maybe
body
Pee-wee's
grinders.
Playhouse.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Pee-wee's Playhouse, I think, is a good one.
So a horrible chair.
Yeah, that devours you through a ball tunnel.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. You need a bit of surreality if you're going to have a room just full of magnetic, squishy letters and numbers.
So if you really think about it, Cherry has the worst life because one.
Yeah.
If Cherry wants to be sat on, I don't trust that chair. If Cherry doesn't want to be sat on, you're fucked.
Sad. Also, the double gut punches, the farts. Everybody farts, and Cherry probably has taken
Just like that book says.
thousands upon like Cowboy Curtis, Missy Vaughn.
Oh, his breath
everybody.
is terrible.
Oh my god! Just everybody blasting ass into Cherry's top cushion that then rockets out of his mouth when he says the word of the day or has to scream or whatever.
Well,
my
maybe he didn't like it, but his will has been broken after so many years of farts.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you can make someone learn to love the taste of shit, you'll have someone that you can care for endlessly.
Oh, good. A coprophage chair.
Metaphorically and also literally. But that's the thing. Like, I think that Cherry just accepted his fate. But here's the thing. Remind me, the red-headed ventriloquist, not ventriloquist, but like the marionette puppet, Randy? Am I thinking correctly?
I remember,
Sounds vaguely right.
I remember Terry the Pterodactyl, but I don't remember Randy the ventriloquist dummy. It sounds terrifying.
Not ventriloquist. It was like a marionette, like it hung from strings, and he was like the bully character. He had the red hair,
I
and
can
he would
picture
show
him.
up. Yeah, and he would be like, "Hey, Terry," and he would say that because the P is silent, guys. The P is silent. Here's the weird thing that I've been noticing more and more. This is going to be another reference to Randy that might blow his mind. But every Randy out there is like so unforgettable, and I always tie them to the one Randy I know. So the Randy I know that's also associated with this show is a redheaded marionette who dances at McDonald's, works in a wood shop, and also is wary of technology. So he's like a little gnome who lives in a tree. So maybe he's just like a hobbit who's also a puppet. Randy, if you're hearing this, let me... Yeah, he's a puppet. If this is an accurate appraisal, Randy, drop something in the comments below. Oh my gosh. So anything new with you, Adam? I feel like you never have any adventures. What's going on?
I'm still working. I don't know where I was working last time we were recording, actually. Or, before the big hiatus.
Yeah, I think... I mean, technically it doesn't matter, because work isn't an adventure. I'm asking for adventure. Obviously within reason, because we're all stuck inside. By adventure, I mean, like, maybe this is the better question to ask. Since we're all now stuck...
and waved into traffic.
Since we're all stuck inside, or should be, are you finding things online or independent artists or any independent stuff out there that you're enjoying?
Not so much online. I mean, I'm playing games and stuff. Nothing too noteworthy at the moment.
Okay, so just sticking to like the big stuff, like the mainstream, like movies and games and stuff.
Yeah, I'm way behind on the movies that I want to be watching, though.
I feel like if you have the time, now has never been better to jump into something independent, because it's all being made so easily available and like free in most cases.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And I don't know how long it will last.
Yeah, I'm as sure as the quarantine and the coronavirus, I'm sure. That's why I'm trying to grab of it as much as I can. So I was going to maybe mine you guys for something, like maybe there's somebody out there doing like, because it's so crazy. You can watch a whole YouTube concert and the dude's just sitting in his living room.
Yeah, and all the remote collaboration stuff that's going on.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Like the Reunited Apart was good. The guy who played Olaf in Frozen was getting together. He got together the cast of Back to the Future, Lord of the Rings, Goonies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, it's never been a better time, because now that I don't know if it's a coincidence that the technology to see each other now at long distances just happened to culminate right now and everybody wants to use it.
Yeah, like it's been there for a long time, but it's like it's clicked into place more so recently.
I think it was always there, but I don't think that the network and all the the infrastructure was ready for literally everybody to jump on board at once.
I have a sad thought for children of the future.
Sure, lay it on me.
So now that we have distance learning down, like they've got it in the schools and everything, do you think there will ever be another snow day? Or will they just be like, distance today, kids?
I think if you got lazy parents, there'll be a lot of snow days, or you got a lot of distracted parents who want to go out and party, you will have a lot of snow days.
Yeah, like, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, like, then the parents would have to be home, right?
But well, they have to be home for a snow day anyway.
Would they?
Because the kids get to stay home at snow day. Are they still going to just leave their kid there alone?
I guess I see what you're saying, but sometimes the parents still have to go to work on snow days, usually.
Yeah, sometimes you have two working parents, but here's the thing. I think that schools, no matter what, should be used because they catch the weirdos. When you get a big group of kids together and one of them starts acting funny and he's on the road to destruction, you pick them out in schools because those homeschool kids end up killing their whole family.
Yeah.
And it's in public schools, they can be like, whoa, let's tag this kid, get him some help.
School to ostracize them.
Not ostracize, it's there to help. Like if maybe back in the 80s, it would be like, your kid's going to be a murderer and get him the fuck out of here. But I feel like now it's like they're a little more receptive to be like, we've got a problem. But that's the thing. If you're homeschooled, then your parents are going to be in denial about literally everything. And then you become a true crime mystery.
Yeah. So many like potential serial killers are going to go under the radar for too long until it's too late. Yeah, that's the system of checks and balances. That's why we need to stop fucking getting each other sick so we can get back to judging each other socially. Like, we need that social judgment so that people will be like, that guy's a murderer.
David, I am so ready now that I'm not in retail, just to see somebody not wearing a mask, be like, hey, prick.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Even though it's the worst state, I have yet to come across like someone I've had to run up and be like, hey, fuck you. They've either had it on or seriously, I'm surprised at how we have stayed at the bottom of so many lists for so long.
Yeah.
And I don't usually like political talk. And that's what I'm going to say about this is I don't think mask wearing is political talk. It's like safety talk.
Yeah.
It's like having a debate about seatbelts. Like, what political agenda is there to a seatbelt? I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, people forget, what political agenda is there to a seatbelt? Is big nylon going to make millions off of these useless straps that'll save countless lives? You know, I get you don't want to be sheeple because this is what in your one-dimensional mind is like a stand for justice.
It's called egocentrism, Dave. They think that these scientists are targeting them.
I think they confuse justice with like inconvenience.
Yeah.
They see like, oh, well, maybe your race is downtrodden, sure, but I have to wear a piece of cloth on my face. It's not a political argument, asswipe. Like, if you're a doctor, we're about to cut you open, you have appendicitis, and he's like, all right, and he pulls his mask off, balls it up, and he's like, Jordan, and hits it right through a tiny little nerve hoop. Would you be like, okay with that?
No, but I'm also going under, so I can't stop him.
And like scratching. Exactly. So that's what you do to other people. You're the asshole doctor because we all have to we can't stop you.
I should tranquilize all these people and put masks on them.
Yeah, I don't want my surgeon to walk into the room with a MAGA hat on.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. Like, you would expect that from a professional. Why do you get to skate? Maybe here's what I would love to do for one day. Maybe there'd be like a pill someday that you can take that just shuts off the part of your brain that does critical thinking so you can arrive at a solution based on an emotion and never like second guess it ever again.
Isn't that called math?
Maybe, but I want it to wear off, and I only want to do it once. I want to feel what it's like to be like ruled solely by emotion and old timey racism.
That's a dream.
That's a weird pill, and they're gonna sneak it into the water, David.
They'll call it the Samuel Clemens.
Yes, ironic racism.
N-word Jim over here. I don't know.
Oh my God.
And I hereby declare that you're going to have to read this out loud in middle schools even after it's inappropriate.
Listen, here's what I'm going to get at. I think everybody is, until you whip out the sign, like your gang sign to show people what you are, everybody gets along. But as soon as you bring up an issue that doesn't touch you personally, nor will touch you ever, people will die for that.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. That's cool if that's your bag. Not my thing. That's why I like to party.
I'm a Venga boy.
That's funny you should say that because I recently found the Venga Boys album and it is now sitting behind me. I think everybody should listen to that album. What was it just called? the Go Bus or Party Bus or something.
See, David found a cursed
Right here.
Venga Boys album. Now, if he puts it on your record player,
Ooh.
a tiny old man comes in and just starts dancing around, and you have to go to Six Flags.
Well,
It's closed, I think.
I think that's a curse we can stay away from, because since this is a CD, I'm never putting it on a record player.
Oh, good.
But it is the party album, the classic party album. When I saw the music videos for We Like to Party and In My Room, I think it's called, or Boom or something.
Yeah, like I know the song you're talking about.
Yeah. Moral of the story is not great music, but when you're at the age when your erection can be triggered very easily, you find yourself connecting to things instantly, is what I'm saying. So when I saw those music
Love these
videos,
Venga Boys.
yeah, because they say the Venga Boys, but it's this like these two super hot chicks that are dancing around, and the dudes are pretty much in the background and fully clothed. So when you're watching this thing, you go, "Yep, I'm hooked. Not good, but I will watch this video, brah."
We need the resurgence of the 90s dance music.
I think it's gonna happen. We've lived through the 80s. I think everybody's squeezed enough out of that. I think probably within the next couple of years, we're gonna see some 90s resurgence, and
Bring
I'm
us
gonna
back.
live it up.
This was supposed to be the time we saw 20s resurgence.
You know,
Well,
flappers
no.
and gangsters.
But
Speakeasies.
I bet if you looked back, that those 20s were also aping the style of those 90s.
Oh, no.
Because it goes inside, like, this has literally been happening for hundreds and thousands of years. So whatever.
But
So
Adam, they have been doing speakeasies. Like in places where bars are closed, bars have been illegally opening and sneaking people in.
Have they really?
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We're going to go through the 20s like virtually, but we can relive the 90s metaphorically, because last decade we did the 80s. Before that was the 70s. Remember in the 90s we were all dressing up as hippies? We didn't live through the 60s, but we were still carrying the tropes. So now when the 90s hit their big money making shit, and Jinko rises from the ashes like the mighty phoenix, and all that old 90s, like if Stussy comes back in a big way, I will complain not. However, if you want to complain, I will accept it, because I fucking hated the 80s, and so if you hate the 90s, I gotta give it to you, man. But
Oh shit! No, David.
what?
You summoned them.
They're here.
What, the 90s?
The
Jinko.
Jinkos.
The Jinkos.
They're
What do you
still
mean?
here.
What do you mean?
I would have thought this company was out of business, but here's big pants.
I need a link right now,
It's just
Andy.
Jinko.com, JNCO.com.
Guys, this isn't a live show, but I'm still going to take a break. JNCO?
JNCO.com. They're not as big as they used to be, but they're still pretty fucking big.
Those are big pants.
Listen, these guys are coming back. I'm going to. Here's my prediction.
$300 for big pants.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not buying them now, but within the next 3 years, the 90s will hit big. Jinko will hit big for the people nostalgia. The imitators will come to undercut the profit. Jinko will lower their price point, and that's when I will strike.
These are David's prophecies.
You don't understand. I need jeans I can hide a Tommy gun in.
I listen, I swear to God, somebody better be there for me to say I fucking told you so in 3 to 5 years. I swear to God, because I will be in my Jinko pants wearing a Massimo shirt, possibly Stussy. I will have a Velcro wallet. Like
Isn't
I will
Massimo
have.
going to jail, though?
Is this a joke?
Like the guy?
I don't know. I
No,
haven't
he
kept-
was married to Uncle Becky, Aunt Becky from Full House.
Oh,
and, like, they both
he's the
participated in
guy?
that scheme.
Oh, okay, then possibly. So maybe not Massimo. Sorry, guys. Stussy. We'll have to keep it a Stussy.
We'll get some Bugle Boy, No Fear, or Big Johnson shirts in
No
here.
fear,
Big Johnson shirts?
Johnson. Yeah, listen. Mark my words. In anywhere between 3 and 5 years, we are going to see a resurgence of the 90s, and I will get to decorate my house like I wanted to when I was fucking 14. And I will live in a tacky museum dedicated to a decade that only I look back upon fondly, because literally everyone else was still being oppressed.
Hey, David, what's that poster you got there? Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
He plays every sport. Was he good?
He was like a superhuman. Look into Bo Jackson. Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows sports. Bo Jackson was fucking insane.
So going back to your original question, David,
Sure.
I did see something on the internet recently.
Okay, lay it on me.
I don't think we mentioned it to you before. Scotoon Network. It's
Scotoon Network.
It's a guy's
Interesting.
YouTube channel, and he does a lot of like cartoon theme like ska covers.
Okay, I get you.
But he also does. He's also branched out and done more like ska remixes of other songs.
Punk songs.
Yeah.
Some Blink-182.
But he does a lot. I don't know if he was doing this before the quarantine stuff, but he does a lot of like online collaborations with apparently like a pretty wide ring of ska musicians that are collaborating pretty commonly.
I don't want to interrupt this story, but I want to say right now is never been a better time to reach out. So if you dudes have ever had a wet dream about someone else's show, like now is the time, because literally everyone is reaching out because we're all stuck inside. So I'm just going to tell you that right now. Now's the time to strike.
But he's got some really good stuff if you want to check him out.
Usually he just does all the instruments himself.
He's super talented. He plays the whole ska band.
I love that shit. Now, I think Pomplamoose is some people's cup of tea and some people's not, but I love that editing style where they cut between the instruments or sometimes show them all at once.
Yeah, I've seen some of their stuff. It's pretty good.
But it's weird.
I think that's so visually stimulating and creative. I love it.
I've seen so much ska, like Goldfinger for some odd reason was like, hey, we're back.
Yeah, they can't make it to the live
Goldfinger.
show. Yeah, I'm saying, man, it's a weird. People are starting to be like, "Fuck this shit! I want to start doing stuff again." It's just you have to do it from home.
Yeah.
So
Crazy
most of the times it's free, which is nice. So, guys, Andy, do you have something for us? We have no soundboard today, so
I do. I wish we had the Creeping on Craigslist thing because I found one that I think is.
Yeah, Andy went grave robbing and found a Creeping on Craigslist.
It's not as long as some of the ones we've done, but
the theme is playing in my heart because I think this is going to be a fun retro cut.
That's some heart murmur.
Oh shit! I had a jagged metal crustio in there. Jesus.
So this is also kind of a sad one.
Oh, that's what I need.
So pet-related business driver, Royal Oaks.
All right.
We are a pet-related business and really, need another driver to pick up deceased dogs and kitties from veterinarian offices in the Bay Area.
Oh, no.
Don't say pet-related business. Why are you doing that? Be like body disposal. Like, because I would read that, be a dog lover, and be like, oh, the dead ones?
It is pet-related, I guess.
But
yeah,
also, it's like,
picking
we need
up
to
dog
go
shit's
to
pet-related.
various veterinarians.
Yeah, well, you'd be like the driver. Like when I worked at a pet shop, that's what they did. Like everything that came back dead or died in store, it was in this big freezer, and there'd be a dude who'd be like, load it up. It's like a big, maybe you've seen the Mammoth Cube meme or not, but it was basically like a big square chunk of dead animals.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
We
horrifying.
need a driver who doesn't mind making 2 a.m. pickups.
Yeah, this is a residential home. This doesn't feel like a dog. It's heavy.
This is the fifth pickup I've had from this place this week.
Another capuchin monkey that got overfed, I suppose. Yeah. Another chimp. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
Really got lit up on that hot wire up there.
God. These deceased companions are in plastic bags and usually frozen.
Usually.
Sometimes the freezers fail, and you have to prepare for that.
Yeah, you gotta stand on the side and you gotta hit it a couple times.
Come on, Betsy.
Chook, 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 chook.
Oh, I'm getting dog juice all over my shoes.
Gross.
Dog juice.
You must be able to write legibly and be able to move a good-sized dog.
But what's a good-sized dog?
Let me pose you with this. There's no good way to handle a dead dog. Would you rather them be like warm and dead, or to be frozen like a big stiff piece of driftwood?
Frozen so I could stack them.
I think frozen is better.
I just mean viscerally. Like if you had to pick it up, if it was like, let's say it's the last time you're gonna see your dog before maybe you're one of those people who's gonna cremate it. Man, so I'm just saying viscerally, like the last time you touch a dog, do you want it to be warm and like bloop, like it just fell asleep, or you want it to be frozen and all hard and jagged?
I want him to be warm like he fell asleep.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So this guy has a shit job twice.
If the pet is a real lunker, the vet staff will normally help you.
We had to hit this guy with a hammer because he went crazy.
A real lunker.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a business terminology.
Yeah. Oh, we got a lunker?
Part of the trade.
A resume would be appreciated, or a filled-in job application you borrowed from another business, like Starbucks.
Wait, what?
But not necessary. How fast can you make a frappuccino? 6 dead dogs?
I like that they're go get a different application. We'll just ignore that one.
I kind of like that.
That's actually pretty funny. I would like to, maybe their years of service at the job can be counted as like little cat heads with excess over their eyes. Ding, 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 ding. But listen, I'm going to say that's not unheard of because literally my first job, I walked in. I didn't want to do it. My mom made me go to Burger King. I said, do you have an application? And she goes, oh no, here, I've got a kids club membership that you can fill out. And I go, okay. So I take it and I sit down, I fill it out, and I'm like, okay, here it is. It's basically like your name, your phone number, and like your address for the zine.
Yeah.
Like, here you go. And so she looks at it for literally 3 seconds and she goes, when can you start?
Puffing on a cigarette.
Fuck. Yeah, literally.
Puts one out on a patty.
So what I'm saying is at least they were looking at it was an application for employment, not to a kids club.
You know, one of those free gym membership things they have up in family-owned restaurants where you put your name down and maybe you'll win some karate lessons.
Yeah, go grab a questionnaire for some pita and hummus at the Costco and fill that out and hand it.
But so many places don't even have, like, physical applications anymore. Like, you have to do it all online.
I suppose you would just grab the iPad.
Here's
Here
my
it
iPad,
is.
man.
Here's the application.
We do need to know about your background, so don't leave off pertinent details, as we consider that dishonest.
Okay.
We don't want any murderers handling our dead animals.
No weirdos.
Yeah, no weirdos allowed.
We know almost everyone has a boo-boo or two in their past, so if we like you, we may be able to overlook them.
Here's the thing. This is... now, when you said this was vintage, I didn't know how vintage it was.
It's not vintage. It's 8 days ago.
Oh, shit. Fuck. Then I was going to say this is the ad that ran that got Freddy into that mortuary for Return of the Living Dead.
Mr. Bundy, was it? Looks like you have a couple boo-boos on your history here.
Yeah, read that and be like, imagine answering this ad and literally hours later walking down to a basement so a guy can bang on a drum with a corpse in it. This is what's going to happen, my friend. And it's 8 days ago. It's happening.
Unfortunately, we cannot overlook a poopy driving record.
What? Who is writing this?
Hey, you slit a guy's throat. He didn't die. That's a big whoops. But 3 parking tickets.
That's a poopy.
Hey, you've done a poopy, sir.
That's a poopy. Sorry, sir. I like this is gathering up all their papers, clapping on the desk. That's a poopy. Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
A citation or two for the usual mistakes is understandable, but a recent DUI is not okay.
That's the thing. They'll overlook speeding. Everything except like inebriants they'll look over.
Well, speeding is actually a benefit when you're trying to get frozen animals somewhere.
Yeah.
Especially
totally.
when all they give you is just a white van that isn't refrigerated.
They're not even going to give me a cooler?
I need to tell you guys this. Today, went on a drive with the family, and I could have got another dozen hats for the store. I am so angry that I'm actually not following this through because I think it could work. I was only on the freeway for 20 minutes tops. Saw a dozen hats. We will be rolling in hat money, you dudes.
You basically just need like a big hook that you can hang outside of your car and grab them.
Yes.
Yeah, like you're going to pull off a vaudeville actor?
Yeah, just go like D speed limit 65 on the side of the road. Maybe we'll have 2. We'll have a driver and someone working a hook shot and like chink. Yeah. Yes. Holy shit. Okay, continue. But listen, every day we're closer and closer to highway hats being a thing.
Recent wrecks are also a non-starter.
Okay.
We do not want you to wreck and spill dog corpses across the freeway.
Oh, yeah, because like
Not
even a minor fender bender has you stuck sitting waiting for the police and a report. And when you've got dog corpses and only so much liquid nitrogen or whatever, dry ice.
The AC only goes so high.
Yeah, there's no skull and crossbones on the AC.
You start your route early and you get back early.
Just like a good paperboy.
I mean, wouldn't that just be on time at that point?
Essentially. Listen, early to bed and early to rise makes you really good at collecting dead dogs.
There is usually overtime and we pay it. End of ad.
We will pay it. Are they paying per dog or per mile with dog?
It might be a time thing. They leave out. Are they compensating me?
Yeah,
like gas?
Here's my question. So I would say in a perfect world, I own a dog collecting business and I had to explain a business to this guy. I would say there is a pickup fee. So let's say you get on retainer. So let's say it's a flat like $100 a month just to go. Everything over a certain weight, that's a surcharge above and beyond. So it would have to be like, I don't know. This gets really complicated. Somebody call the Better Business Bureau. I think they can help.
So if anybody is looking for a job in the Royal Oaks Bay Area...
But if they expect you to get back from your route early, you're not going to get overtime because you got done early.
No, but they said there's usually overtime, huh?
So, well, and I guess so, because, I mean, if you think about it, how many people deliver a pizza a day? Just think about that. How many people are ordering pizzas? You don't think about that, but I bet a bunch of people do it. And you think, how many people are putting their dogs down a day? You don't think about it, but probably a lot.
I don't want to think about it.
Oh, you made me sad.
That's what I'm saying. This is like the Black Hood of the olden days. Like you are this silent carrier out of this horrible deed that no one will ever want to talk to you about, so you can't connect with it on anybody. I pity the fool.
So the hearse is what brings like dead people to the cemetery. What's the iconic car that would transport dead pets?
Like a Astro van, like a Ford Astro Star.
It's the van from Dumb and Dumber.
Ah, yes.
Oh, the shaggin' wagon.
Yeah. Except it's got X's on its eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got right in front of the windshield. I think realistically, like if you want to get fancy, sure, the shaggin' wagon, but I think realistically, we're looking like in a 1998 Ford Aerostar because you can take out those back seats, plenty of room for coolers. And they're still around, God bless them, and they're cheap.
Still hanging in there.
If highway hats is a thing, you will see it on the side of the Ford Aerostar as they are picking up hats on the freeway. That's an FFOP promise.
Yeah.
That you can count on.
Yeah. That's ironclad, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, I guess that's it, unless you've got anything else you want to throw out there.
Is it recommendations?
It is time for staff recommendations.
I feel like me and Andy might have the same recommendation today.
You typically do, so why don't we just go ahead and hit me with the two barrels?
It's a top-down roguelike beat-em-up brawler.
Okay.
Fighter called Hades.
I was just listen. Friend of the show, PJ, just released an article about that I was reading, so I'm interested. So please tell me more.
I've been eyeing it for a while, and it's been in early access for a long time. I think it just released recently, like full release.
It's not like a MOBA or anything, is it?
No.
Okay, so
I think it's on all platforms, isn't it?
Is it a dungeon crawler?
Kind of.
It's in the sense that Gungeon is also a dungeon crawler.
Or like it's kind of Diablo-y because like it's that sort of combat.
Right. Okay, I kind of get that. That's sort of mindless grind that we can all get lost in.
But
I like those stuff.
You're the son of Hades trying to escape Hades.
Trying to escape the underworld. And it's, like I said, it's kind of like Gungeon in that sense. It's, it's roguelike, so it's all random and you don't keep everything on your runs.
How's the fighting mechanics?
The fighting mechanics are interesting because you can unlock more weapons as time goes on that you you pick before you start each run. And they all play very differently. And then, you find boons from the other like Olympus gods that like change how your moves work or give them different like status effects and stuff.
All right, I like that kind of stuff. I still want to get back to, as soon as I can set up a streaming Raspberry Pi to get my shit out to the living room, I want to start going through all of my old 2D pixelated brawlers because those are always so much fun. There's nothing
those
better.
Some of my favorites.
There's nothing better than seeing a little guy blow up into red pixels.
One of the big differences between this one and a lot of other similar games is the story. Like, there's a ton of like fully voice acted like narration and dialogue between the characters.
There's like a good through line?
How do you mean?
Like is the plot worthy of the, like, because good narration is one thing, but like is the plot worthy of paying attention to the dialogue?
Yes, I'd say so. Like, I don't think either of us are far enough to really say for sure like what exactly might be going on. I'm still a little suspicious of a lot of it, but it's all been very interesting. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, very good. I appreciate that.
Very good.
I'm going to recommend the game Among Us.
We've been playing some of that.
Yeah, I just picked it up. We're going to try, and probably after this is released, it's already happened. So I don't know, maybe I'll do it again or whatever. But I'm going to try and get a big group of people together to play it and stream from my side. You just have to promise not to cheat, I suppose. But it's been fun, and it's kind of like One Night Ultimate Werewolf, except with it's less cerebral and more deductive.
Yes.
It's tough to be the bad guy in that game.
Yes, because it's not like you're not trying to make a case. Like, there's usually someone who saw you do what you did. So it's whatever. We'll see what happens. That'll be a fun stream. So I think I'm gonna plug that game. Plus, it was only like $5, and the phone version's free.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah,
and they integrate. I hear
they do.
So cool. That's how we're gonna be streaming it. Also, if you want to get in contact with us, you can. fistfulpodcast@gmail.com and yada yada yada. We're on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and blah blah blah. Come by the store, pick up a Popeye related piece of merch. Those are cool. I should have some stuff coming here very soon to show you. Am I missing anything, guys, or should I wrap it up?
I don't think we are.
Go for it.
All right. So until next week, I'm Dave.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Adam.
Saying, remember, kids, be like Popeye. See you next week.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.
1,
2. I almost clapped.
3.
4.
Why would clapping be a thing?
I don't know, like a clap sync. 1.
We're not the clapper, we're a show, Andy.
Hey, turn off.
I'm a real boy.
This is how you turn on a robot that's plugged into the clapper. Boner.
Bu-
You have to say boner?
Yeah, you do have to say boner.
That's how they changed it in the future. Somebody wanted to bring back the clapper, but they couldn't use the clapper franchise, so it's the clapper boner.
Yeah, it doesn't work without the boner stinger.
You have to clap twice to say boner once.
2 claps is patented.
Yeah. Imagine some old lady. Boner.
Do your intro.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay. Guys,